All right, we're recording. Sweet. So this is my another part in this like weekly series thing that we're doing here, where we just kind of sit down, take a break from the gaming stuff, and just have a face-to-face discussion like this. Don't mind my hair. I have no idea what's going on. Literally, it's too long. If I swoosh it this way, then this side looks kind of weird. If I try to put it back that way, then it does this weird thing where this is sticking out, and that I just need to get it trimmed. But anyway, as you guys saw from the title of the video, I finally beat Assassin's Creed Valhalla. If you've missed the last couple uploads on the channel, I've been playing through it for the last week or so, and man, I have a bit to say. So, yeah, I started it last Saturday. I am recording this on Friday, so it took me about 6 days to beat the game. I was putting in roughly about 8, anywhere from like 7 to 9 hours each day into the game. But yeah, it took me about 40 to 50 hours to beat the game. I think the final time was around like 46 hours, so it's a pretty lengthy game, and I didn't even do any side quests. Like, I was literally just focusing on the main story, but that's something I'm going to talk about. So let's break it down first. The first bit of this video is going to be spoiler free, just for those that still want to experience the game. But before I start getting into spoilers, obviously I'll let you guys know, so then you know to click off. But we'll cover, I guess, the structure of the story first. So the one criticism that I have is a lot of the game, like, the game is really good. Like I said, it's like a 46-hour game, and that's rushing it. Like, towards the end, I was pushing hard, and there was a few times where I was like actually like skipping cutscenes, and I'll explain, because I wasn't missing any story stuff by doing that, I assure you. So basically, the story for the first act of the game, it's all main story stuff. You're dealing with Eivor and Sigurd and everything like that, but then once you get to England, it goes to this thing where essentially you have to gain alliances all across England, so then you can finally take over England. That's like the big goal that's set up from the first 30 minutes of the game. And it's the way that everything is structured. These alliances, when you go to get them, there's about 16 that you have to do, but none of them really correlate with the main story. It's all just like branching side quests, essentially. And most of those quests just boil down to go here, kill him, go here, clear out this area, go here, burn these supplies. And that's basically what it is for like 30, 35, maybe 40 hours of the game. Like, when you're going out getting all these alliances, it's basically just hours and hours and hours of side quests just packed into the middle of the story. So the first couple hours is really good main story stuff. The whole middle section, that whole 30-hour span, is literally just like side quests with a few sprinkles of story here and there that are good to get into, and some really important choices that I didn't think would affect me in the end. But regardless of the choices I made, I ended up getting the good ending still. At least I believe it's the good ending. I'm not sure. I haven't watched on YouTube yet like what the good ending is versus the bad ending, but I believe I got the good one because it had a good tone to it. But yeah, that would be my main criticism. If they could just like take out all that side stuff, you could boil it down to a really nice, solid like 15, 20, maybe 30-hour game. But with everything else, on an average playthrough, it's gonna take you 50 to 70 hours, unless you do it like I was, where like when you like for the first 10 alliances or so, I'd say I was paying attention. But the time I got to the last 6, man, I was skipping through the cutscenes. I didn't care to know more characters. My brain couldn't contain any more characters. I was forgetting names, faces, like, it was just getting to be way too much. But onto gameplay is really solid. The combat at first was a little iffy to me, but once you master it, sure, it's a little clunky here and there, and the animations can be a bit off. The way that the hitboxes and the way that things chain together and move, it's a little clunky. But once you get used to it, it actually starts to become kind of satisfying, especially because while this is an RPG and there is looter aspects, it's a lot less than it was in, say, Odyssey, where it's like just this freaking chore to just grind through the game, and you're going through your inventories like every 5 minutes because it's like full after 5 minutes of looting. But in this game, it's more focused on picking your gear, picking your armor, get your set, level it up, expand it, enhance it, do whatever you got to do, and stick with that for the game. In fact, I got an axe about maybe 8 hours into the game that I used for the rest of the game. And same with the armor. I used the Raven Clan armor that you get like immediately at the start of the game, and I just kept enhancing it and upgrading it. And same with no, the bow. Actually, I ended up getting like a mythic bow because when I completed one of the alliance quests, I got a letter in my room, and then once I got that, it gave me like a mythic bow or whatever. But that's not the point. Yeah, the gameplay, it's pretty solid all around. The combat, once you get used to it, it's pretty good. I like the looting aspects. I like the way that enhancing your gear and everything like that is very different from typical looter shooter type RPG type stuff. and just the way like moving and parkour and everything like that, and the way the ship controls is it's like a smaller scale AC4, but the way that the boat feels, at least the way that it controls, the horses control good. I really don't know what else to say about it, 'cause that's all there really is to the game, just running horses, boats, parkour, combat. So in that aspect, yeah, I'd say it feels solid enough, especially for a big adventure like this. The one thing I kind of found to be a little weird was the way the stamina system works, but at the same time, I liked it because it really encouraged you with its systems to make you more offensive. Obviously, I'm not trying to compare this to a Souls game, but think the way that Bloodborne works, where like if an enemy hits you, they take some of your health, but you hit them, you can get some of that health back. That's kind of how it works in this game, except it's with the stamina bar. They hit you, some of your stamina is going to go away, it's going to gray out. Once you start slashing them and hitting them, your stamina is going to refill. And if I got into a really good groove towards the end of the game where I started to learn how everything actually worked, and I was able to chain together heavy attacks that were wasting my stamina. But right as it was at the end, the enemy would go to attack, I'd block it, I'd parry, I'd go up for the light attacks, because the light attacks, as long as you land them, refill your stamina bar. I'd hit that a couple times, they go in for a rune attack, I'd roll this way, I'd go over, slash them in the back of the head, stomp them, stun attack, cut their head off. So it can be pretty satisfying. I'm trying to think of everything else. The way the leveling works is cool. The skill tree is unnecessarily just huge. Just boil it down, make it be less levels. I like I like the idea, but dude, it's too big. Why does it need to be that big? It's not even overwhelmingly big. It's just stupid big. It's like, why? Why is this here? I guess it's to hide the fact that it's still kind of grindy with the recommended power levels to each alliance. Kind of like they took away the required levels from Odyssey, but then just kind of turned it into these power levels. But the power levels really don't matter if you're good at the game. You can like by the time you get to the end of the game, there's a zone where it's like level like 340 you need to beat. Dude, I beat the game at level like 170, like literally half of that. So it's not even a problem. But yeah, I'm trying to think of everything else I can cover that's spoiler free. So just to give a quick recap: gameplay good, story good for the parts that aren't side quests. You know, all the main story stuff that matters is good. It's just that middle section. No. But everything else, yeah, good game. Oh, especially the voice acting, man. Eivor absolutely killed it. I've only played a couple of AC games. I played a little bit of Odyssey, Origins 4, 2, a little bit of 1, and out of like all the games that I've played, Eivor is definitely up there. I'd say Edward Kenway is probably my favorite, and I know people are gonna be like hating on me for that, being like, no, Altair, no, Ezio, but I'm like, dude, I haven't beaten those games. AC4 is the first game and one of the only AC games I've actually seen through to the end, and just everything with like his arcs and his personality and the way, I don't know, just something about his character, absolutely fell in love with it. So between Edward and Ivor, I don't know, but like they're clashing at the top. I really like those characters. If I go back and actually finish Ezio games, like I go through play 2 and then Brotherhood and Revelations, so I haven't even touched the latter 2 yet. So once I touch those, Ezio will probably take my top spot. But man, okay, I have a bad problem with rambling and just going on and on. But hey, if you guys are AC fans or whatever, and we're 8 minutes into the video, so if you're still watching, you're obviously an AC fan, so this will at least probably intrigue you somewhat. Anybody that's not an AC fan probably already clicked off. But we'll get into the spoiler stuff now, so if you aren't interested to hear that, then you can either click off or just skip ahead a little bit farther into the video, because this really won't take me too long to cover. I already kind of discussed my opinions on the story, so I guess we'll just kind of get to the ending. So you guys can let me know down below if this is the good or the bad ending, because I'm probably going to forget to actually look into it. But I got the ending where you're sitting next to that like machine or whatever. I already forget what it's called, but it's like that temple thing where you fight Baphomet and all that. But Sigurd's like saying something about like, oh, how you betrayed me, you know, you romanced my wife, and we stole my father's supplies, and yeah, just because of the choices that I made. And then you're like, oh, you defied me or whatever, and said I was wrong about that part where the two people are there arguing because the one guy in the village literally cut off his neighbor's horse's tail to use it as a paintbrush or something. So Sigurd was mad that I said that he was wrong in his judgment of making the guy that stole the horse tail pay him back 30 times whatever the horse was worth. Like that, come on, man, that's a little wrong. It's a little harsh. So yeah, but then he said, despite all of this, though, something, I'll still return with you to England. So considering the fact that it still had like a good thing to it, like a good tone to it, saying like, okay, but I'll still go with you to England. And then once we got back, everything seemed okay. And then, Eivor was given the title of like Jarl or whatever. I assume that's still like a decent ending. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's the bad ending. But considering the fact that he was still saying that he was mad that I did those things, at first I thought I got the bad ending, but then it seemed to go good towards the end of the conversation. So it might have been good. I don't know. It seems complicated. And another thing I didn't like, there's no credits in the game after you get back, and Sigurd's like, take a seat, and he like basically just hands off his kingship, his jarlness to you, and everybody starts pounding on their chest and singing the song. There's no credits. That's the end of the game right there, and I didn't even know that. I was just still playing, and I was just kind of like running around, waiting for the next quest to pop up for like 5-10 minutes, just going to talk to everybody in the village, enhancing my gear, and I was like, was that the end of the game? So then I hopped on Google, did a quick Reddit search, and yeah, it was the end of the game. So I was like, oh, okay, I beat the game. And then I suddenly felt empty, just kind of reflecting on my whole adventure. Dude, I've been talking for so long. I need water. If you're watching, take a sip of water. Hydration's important. Okay, anyway. Yeah. So I didn't even know the ending was there. Ubisoft, please put credits in your game. Because I couldn't tell, like, while it was a good ending, like, I like that ending. It's just, it felt a little empty to me, I guess. Or it made me feel kind of empty. Because it's just like, I don't know. It happens to me with a lot of games though, where as soon as I finish it, I just kind of reflect on the whole adventure. Especially a game like this that's so long and drawn out. I just reflect on like everything from the beginning up to now, and it's just like, wow. Like I took over all of England. Not took over, but like I went nigh alliance with all of England. I got all this stuff, got all these people in my village here. Like I did a lot, and then just watching Eivor just sit in his throne, just leaning back, just with everybody pounding on their chest and stuff as the camera slowly pans out from the longhouse and screen goes black. It's like, dang. I don't know. It's like it's cool. It makes you feel really good, but at the same time, it's like, could there have been more? Because I'm thinking about everything. Like while you fight Bassman, that's really cool, and you have like a mini showdown with Odin, which is really just you load in from a cutscene, he hits you once and it goes back to a cutscene. It's not even a fight. Like, what if we could have fought like what was the wolf's name from the beginning of the game, Fefnir or something like that? Like that would have been awesome. Would you imagine just like final boss, like you and Sigurd like strapping up, going to fight like fucking Fefnir or whatever, like that giant wolf? That would have been awesome, but it is what it is. I don't know. I've been rambling now for like 12 minutes just about Assassin's Creed. So you guys let me know. Have you guys played this game? Have you played other games in this series? What are your opinions on this game or the series? Or what are your opinions on anything that I said? Who is your favorite Assassin's Creed protagonist? Anything Assassin's Creed, just let me know down in the comments. And if you guys want me to make an Assassin's Creed video just kind of showing off how Eivor's looking by the end of the game, what my gear's looking like, and maybe we just go through and play some of the remaining side quests I have to do or something like that. I don't even know. We could do something like that, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I upload daily at 7 p.m. Usually I do gaming content, so if this is your first video seeing me, don't get used to this type of content. I do it once a week, so I mean, if this is all you're interested in, just hearing me talk about stuff, you can come back on a weekly basis. Usually Saturday or Sunday nights, these go up. And yeah, the rest of the nights we just play whatever. Call of Duty, Minecraft, GTA, Fortnite, indie game. I'll play literally anything under the sun. So yeah, that's that. I'll shut up now. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Peace. Can I actually hit the end button this time? That's like a common thing. Every time I go to hit the end button in these talking videos, I can never hit it. I always like just click around it like 5 different times and it just leaves this awkward moment at the end. But anyway, yeah. See you guys.